Good morning, Alta Realty Group agents. This is Kevin Lauren. I'm the Director of Training and Marketing here. And today is, of course, an interesting day, as being in this coronavirus time. So good on all of you for joining us for the webinar. We're doing, of course, webinars are what the prescribed deal is these days. So we already do that. We already do webinars and all that kind of stuff. So I want to have Travis Breton join us. Good morning, Travis.
Good morning. How's it going?
Very well. And Bill Seitz, good morning to you.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody.
Yeah. So agents, again, I see we have some of our favorite agents on the line as usual. Good morning, Rhonda. Good morning, Marcella. Good morning, Susan. Susan is a new agent. We're glad to have her. And good morning, Elaine Lanterman, among others. Yeah, Bill. So first things first, what's going on with mortgage land? It's out of control. It's all over the map, huh?
Well, first things first, what's going on in the world?
Yeah, well.
Yeah, it's pretty wild times. I don't think anybody can go back into the archives and say they've been around for this show. But
it's all new.
We got the kids at home today. They're homeschooling. Their
Right.
school was able to put together a homeschool, some sort of program. So they're in their rooms doing the same thing that we're doing.
Exactly. We got the same thing happening here.
Exactly. But yeah, incredible times, really unprecedented. And, I think everyone's trying to make sense of it and in their respective areas of this business. And it's across the board. I don't care what you do for a living. You're going to be impacted.
Oh yeah. It's safe to say. So we're all just kind of hunkering down in it for the long term here. And, I'm sure this whole social distancing is going to really help slow things up. So I'm optimistic, but yeah, we're all just going to have to be patient.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. And, fortunately for what I do day to day, I don't necessarily have to be, in front of the clients maybe as much as someone who's showing property or has a listing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if something that we want to address, Travis. I think I've seen some stuff out there from CAR and NAR about kind of best practices and things to kind of touch on during this time, especially for realtors. But we can maybe, I don't know if we have time today. If not today, maybe we can do it next week and spend a few minutes on it.
For sure. Travis, if you would just kind of weigh in on what you've heard, that'd be great. Just to, at least get us a quick update for today.
Well, I mean, every market's been a little different as far as what's been recommended. I know, Bay Area is pretty much locked up from what I'm seeing. Looks like they're freezing up the MLS for the most part. I don't think they're going to be doing much showings up there, and I'm kind of expecting the rest of California to follow suit. I think Orange County just announced the shelter in place yesterday. My best guess is a lot of the big metro areas, big counties, would just be on the same path by the end of the week would be my guess. So I'm just trying not to be surprised by anything anymore. I mean, let's just expect it, and plan for it. So
good point.
There's a chance that most MLSs are just going to discourage open houses and things like that. And I don't know that it's going to be that big of an issue with the sellers because they probably don't want a lot of people trouncing through their house anyways.
Exactly. Good point.
I think at this point, if we hit a little pause in our business, we could have some anxieties and things like that going on. I know a lot of people get a little freaked out when business kind of changes suddenly. Keep busy with your, we always have projects that we're like, oh man, I wish I had the time to do this. And, that's what I've been doing. Not that it's really slowed down phone call wise, but obviously I'm not out showing homes and stuff like I was. So I'm spending time, working on some projects, working on some video marketing, things like that I could do from home easily, and keeps my mind busy and makes me feel like I'm working. And,
Yeah.
in the next few weeks, when hopefully, the US comes back to life a little bit, you'll be stronger, because you'll have worked on your online presence, you'll worked on, these projects and different things like that. And uh, you'll be better for it.
Yeah, that's a great point, Travis. Appreciate that. Bill, anything else to add to that?
No, I think that's great advice. I think there's a lot of things. I mean, for me, I'm getting a lot of phone calls about refinancing and rates, and where, what the loans are doing, and there's a lot of chaos in that world right now too. But as far as what Travis was touching on, I think it's super important, if you are on the agent side of this business, to take advantage of this time where you normally, if we have to be home, we have computer time. Let's get some of the stuff down. And I know you're going to talk about some marketing things today, Kevin, but this is an incredible time to really get stuff done.
Yeah.
Because normally you got to set aside little tiny blocks, and you're trying to show property, and you're going to open house, or your home inspection or whatever. Now that these other items will be kind of taking a quick time out, or hopefully a relatively short time out, you really can focus on getting some of that stuff that Travis was mentioning, video marketing, whether it's newsletters or things that you're going to talk about today. It's the time to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't forget your online.
Yeah.
Everybody's online right now. So I have to tell you, I have Facebook ads still running for, buyer ads and stuff. And they have just been blowing up this week. I mean, you would think that it would just be stagnant, but I mean, Sunday and Monday, my lead gen was just like going crazy.
Yeah.
It's actually going off right now. I have a lead coming in right as we speak right now.
Right now.
It's pretty crazy. Like, so don't forget the online. If you have lead gen running, don't stop that. As far as your online stuff, because everybody is in front of a screen right now. You've never had a better audience.
No doubt. They have nothing else to do.
Yeah, they have nothing else to do. So.
Susan Cross just said shares are going crazy as well. So that's great, Susan.
Keep it rolling, Susan.
But real quick, as far as the mortgage stuff, guys, and I know, we all have clients that are either trying to refi or, things, that maybe that they're looking into. The banks have just been having a hard time with this too, because this is unprecedented for them. They have a lot of staff that now they have to manage and keep, following protocol for keeping their staff safe and proper distancing inside these huge, office buildings. And they also have to gauge the risk in the market that's perceived, or not perceived, with hedge costs in the marketplace. We all know the stock market's just been going up and down. There's a lot of just wildness. And if you are looking to refinance, the pricing is literally can be changing 3 or 4 times a day. I've already gotten 2 price changes this morning from Caliber, one of our wholesale partners, and it's been the difference of about a quarter point just in literally an hour. So
only 9 o'clock.
Yeah, so it's really volatile, but there'll be opportunities through the volatility to snag probably what you're looking for. You just got to have patience and understand that if you're talking to us, or you're talking to someone else. Just understand the reality. It's not just the Fed dropped it to 0, rates are 0. It's doesn't work like that. It only that means is that the banks can borrow the money for next to nothing from the Fed, but they have their own assessment of risk and what the market's doing, and how they have to take on extra margin for all this disruption in their, from, like I said, managing their staff, to the overflow that's coming in, to having capacity to process all this stuff, to hedging in the marketplace, to selling it off to the secondary market. They have all these other things that they have to basically package up into their margin, even though they're getting a better rate from the Fed, if that makes sense. So a lot of people don't really truly get that point of how it works. They just hear the news, oh, the Fed dropped rates to 0. Oh, my mortgage is going to be like 1%. No, fortunately, it doesn't work that way, guys. But anyways, there will be moments if you're looking to get some stuff done. Just be patient. If you call, a clear view, or you're getting a quote, just if it's not what you see that day, just tell whoever's managing it to keep an eye on it. You'll probably find your chance. So
yeah. Well, without further ado, guys, and thank you so much for that, Bill, because a lot of people don't really understand that, and it's just good to hear from somebody that is in that world day in and day out. You really understand it, so much appreciated.
of course.
All right, perfect. So we are going to get into the bulk of our presentation today, and since we've got Marcella on the line, she's one of our favorites, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to log into Marcella's system, and we're going to build this basically a blog post for her. So this is the blog post, and you guys have probably noticed that about, I don't know, last week, beginning of the week, I sent you guys via MailChimp this take advantage of your home equity content piece. So you'll see that I've posted this on our ARG blog. And so it's just a really good content piece about home equity. And I don't know if anybody, if you guys got a chance to read it yet, but it's a really good piece. And so as you guys know, I've been, trying to get you guys content pieces like this occasionally that you can use to, post your blogs, put onto social media, email out to people. Basically, it's a reason to contact everybody in your sphere of influence and give them something of value. So, and we want to be doing this at least 10 times a year. And so I'm going to try to get you guys, almost every month, I will be giving you guys some kind of a content piece. So this is kind of the beginning of what we do. So, so we basically we'll take a Word document. I'll send you guys either a Word document, or in the MailChimp content itself, you'll just see, all of this text. And so all you'll have to do is just highlight the text. I mean, it's as easy as it gets. Copy it. For those of you who don't know how to do that, you just right click and hit the copy button. And then we're going to take this, we're going to go into Marcella's agent marketing system, and we're going to go into her blog. And I know she doesn't really use her blog very much. She does other stuff, but we're going to add this for her. And we're going to take that text, and we're going to paste it now. And here's a little source code deal, but you can also most likely just paste it, or Control V if you're on a PC, Command V if you're on a Mac, and that will paste that text into the blog area. Okay, and so we've also, just below this, we've got a little spot where we can put a 200 character summary. So it's kind of nice to take the first paragraph, copy it, and let's put it down here. We'll Control V again. And so in fact, we probably don't even need this. Let's take that out. And we could probably throw in the next paragraph. We'll see how that does. Oh no, that's not gonna work. So anyway, I normally do something like this. I'll go back it up a tiny bit, put 3 dots so people know, oh, okay, we're gonna read more later. So then we go up, we copy this title, and we put this in the title of the blog. Easy enough. Focus word, it's not really that important, but let's say home equity. Okay, this is going to be in Marcella's blog. This is all looking good. Then we're going to be able to select an image. So I'm going to select an image, and again, in that, when I send out that communication, it'll have the image that you can use. So I'm going to go ahead and select an image. You can use a stock image, of course, or you can, use your own image. So let's go to our file locker, and let's update a file. And let's use this image. And that makes it takes it into our file locker. Then what we do is we just copy this image, or I'm sorry, this URL. And then we can go back over to our blog. Oops. Deleted it. It's all right. We can try it again. All right, so now we have our image in there. I'm going to go back to our text and put it back in there. Oh, whoops. I had it open. I had it open in this other deal. All right. Copy that. Take it over here. So all we're doing is, in the file locker, there's a spot to put these images. They end up with a URL. And so all we have to do is save it. And now we have a draft of this. So we can take a look at it. Still a draft. But look how nice that was. It has a nice image. Everything looks great. Sometimes there's formatting issues that you have to look for. So if it doesn't look like it's, the spaces are off, a lot of times we'll have to fix that, but it looks good. So now we want to go over and publish it. So let's publish it. You can actually choose when you want to publish this. So what does that mean? That means if you want, you could, sit down in this period of, coronavirus time, and you could schedule out all your blog posts for the rest of the year.
Kevin or Travis, sorry to interrupt, but is there, I know like with social media, they say, I don't know, last time I heard anyways, like, early afternoon was like one of the best times that people are getting viewership. Is there specific data or metrics on sending out these types of blogs or email marketing that is a known time that's better than others, or is it kind of similar?
Yeah, I mean, I think in the studies that I've seen, afternoon is better.
My rule of thumb has always been whenever you're in front of the computer, other people probably are too.
Yeah.
So,
good point.
mornings and afternoons, like between 7 and 8 in the morning, and afternoons between 5 and 6, and then later on like after 9 is probably key times. I heard around noon as well, for lunch breaks, but just imagine all that's out the window for the next few weeks. But in general, if you're sitting down to be in front of the screen for a half hour, more than likely the rest of the public is too, or the majority.
Yeah, no, great point. And so also, Bill, with respect to that, so what we're doing right now is we're just creating the blog post, but then we're going to be sharing this blog post. We're going to be emailing this blog post out. We're going to create, social media marketing ads based around this blog post. So that's more when the timing is, exactly to your point, that's when it's, crucial to select the time properly. Because, we're just basically creating the content right now. And then I've got a couple little steps on, what you should do. So the first step is create the content, just like this. And now let's take a look at it. Let's view it. And now this is live. So this is this URL up here. We can now copy this and we can take it into social media. So let's do that just to see what it looks like when we do that. And so of course we would post, we would right click and we would paste that same link here. And then we would post. So, and a lot of times it will render the image. If it doesn't render the image, we can also, add an image here. I'm not going to do that, but let's go ahead and just X out of there. So that would be the next step, is you would post it to social media. Whoops. And again, it's now on our website as well. So the cool thing is when somebody clicks on our post from Facebook, they're not just looking at Facebook. it's going to send them back to our website. So we always want to be sending people back to our website because our website is a resource for our clients. So of course, the next thing is we want to email that out to everybody in our database. So the other thing that we can do is we can go into our email drip and into our monthly letters, or even we can create a whole different campaign. Or we can go into our monthly letters and we can add a newsletter. Same thing that we just did. So we go over to our blog post, we highlight our title, and we get the rest of our information here. Copy it, take it back to the agent marketing system, drop it in the text. Looks good. And then notice that these monthly newsletters, you have the ability to include area stats, which is really cool. And it's going to pull the stats from the zip code that is in that person's file in your CRM. So super, super cool. And then, two different ways you can do this. The email body, you can actually put into something different than the message itself. Or you can, break up the message and put it in two different spots in there. So then, of course, we decide when we want to post it, because these monthly newsletters, they can, they're all set to go out at certain times. So we can create a monthly newsletter, and away we go. And then that way, everybody, all of our leads that have monthly newsletters turned on, they get to have the information as well. So what do we do after that? Well, first thing you should do is on social media, you should do a boosted post. So just, spend $25, $30 on boosting that post in social media and get a little bit of extra traction there. The next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to send some specific emails out to some people, some specific text messages out to people. You're also going to want to pick up the phone and call a couple of people in your list and make sure that they've got this piece, discuss this piece. So this is a talking point, because again, what are we trying to do here? We're trying to position ourselves as real estate experts, and we're also trying to always provide value to our clientele, even if they're not a client yet. And then we also want it to keep ourselves top of mind. So those are the three main things that we're always doing with any of these blog post communications. They're just reasons to make sure people know that we're still there. And especially right now, coronavirus time, pick up the phone, make sure everybody's doing well, offer assistance to people in the community perhaps, so there's a lot of different things that we can do. Travis, anything that you have to add to that?
Not to this, but, well, I guess, yeah, the social media part is the big part. So, you can kind of post up the blog whenever, and then pick your sharing times, during what you think is going to be peak viewing hours.
Yep.
So, and do all your media, your Facebook, if you have a Twitter, different, a Pinterest, things like that, share it to all of them, because that's how you get the traffic.
Exactly. So, LinkedIn even,
that's a good one.
Why not?
Pinterest is actually underrated. I used to get a lot of traffic from Pinterest.
Yeah, no doubt. And Pinterest is really cool, especially for you agents that spend the money and get really high quality images for your properties. Pinterest is huge. You've got to share those awesome pictures, on your Pinterest account. So I would say the top social media platforms, obviously Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, not as much, but Twitter, sure. LinkedIn, Pinterest. If you're posting to all 5 of those, then you're crushing it. So, and Bill, any other takeaways? That's basically the bulk of the presentation. And I want you guys to just, know that you can always contact me for one-on-one help. But this is what I want you guys to be doing, especially when you have time, when you're at home, social distancing yourself and all that good stuff.
I have one additional thing before Bill jumps in.
Sure.
CAR put out a new disclosure addendum yesterday
Okay.
for coronavirus, and they are doing a webinar on it today. I think it's like 3 p.m. Eastern or something. I don't know.
Wow, that's interesting, Travis, huh?
Yeah. So free webinar. Go to car.org and check it out. They're going over the new addendum.
Okay, cool. You know what I'll do is I will put a link out and send a link to that webinar out to all of our agents just to make sure everybody has that. That's a great one.
Yeah, that's good information, Travis. I think the fact that they're going to consider putting a disclosure out there for this is interesting as well. Just for
it's already in zip forms.
Is it really? That's
Wow.
incredible.
Yeah,
that might be something we should look at maybe next Wednesday too. I don't know. Spend a few minutes just reviewing it, but obviously they want to eliminate any kind of potential or perceived liability if I don't know how you prove where you caught the thing, but people will try to sue for anything, or we all know that. But this was good stuff, Kevin. I think the templates are really professional. I think if anybody is not doing this, it's just silly. If you don't have your sphere of influence done, we harp on this constantly. You got to get your sphere of influence done. That makes this little task very, very easy. And you can be pushing out all sorts of content. And I challenge everybody, if you're not doing this, to send out to do this and send out at least one, message or broadcast something out to your sphere of influence by the next Wednesday's webinar.
Love that.
That's my Corona challenge for everybody today.
I love that.
This is a perfect time to, if you don't have your database all built up and in one location, I think that right now is an excellent time to sit down for a day and put all your contacts in a place where you can easily get to them and send stuff to them. There's no better time than now, and get the coronavirus challenge and get it done before the next webinar.
Yeah, I totally agree, Travis. And like I think we mentioned, or Travis mentioned a couple of webinars back, like go through if you don't have one or you don't have an address book in your computer, start going through your phone. And like,
oh yeah,
I was doing this just a couple of weeks ago when Travis mentioned, I'm like, holy crap, I have like so many people on my phone that I don't even have I have a sphere, I have, I don't know, around 100 people or so that I send out to realtors and friends and people in the business. But I started looking at my phone. I was like, oh my gosh, I have so many more people that I could actually be adding into my Excel spreadsheet. And that's something I'm sure Kevin can help answer a question too, if you have, how to put it in or what, what is it? Your contact management, CMA, whatever you're using, super easy. And you'll feel so good if you get it done. I mean, this is a task where if you can just sit down and grind this out and get it done, you are going to be in so much of a better position coming out of this little break we're having and being able to really fire off and be efficient with your business.
Absolutely. Rhonda says challenge accepted. She's on it.
Of course,
she's one of the culprits. She's got a ton of contacts, and I think she doesn't have it all in one place yet. We've talked about it, so she's working on it.
Awesome.
And I want to show you guys one more thing while I've got your attention, because I just kind of finalized this template. 1 second. And we've even got Susan Cross on the line. I created this for Susan. Okay. All right. So you guys can see this. We have a couple different variations of templates for my client welcome kit. So this is one that I created for Susan, one of our new realtors. And so notice that it's a PowerPoint presentation. So she can go in here now and she can answer these questions. She can go in and say, why did I become a real estate professional? And she could put a little blurb, just one sentence for all these different things, right? And then the next slide is, home buying resources. So she can, also put in links to cool things about home buying. And what in a perfect world, what she would do is she would create a page on her website that talks about getting the current market report, or learn about the buying power, or whatever it is, right? And so in a perfect world, these would be hyperlinks underneath each of these little things, right? And then we have home buying advantages, just some stuff about home buying. The next slide would be, thinking of buying, sign up for my home buyer direct access program. And these are some of the kind of techniques that I've trained on. Next slide is, home selling advantages, right? And the next slide would be, let's get down here. Home selling resources, same thing, little links to pages on her website or pages on other websites that, provide some value, right? And then thinking of selling your home, get my expert home value analysis. So that's, of course, just inviting someone to get a CMA from me. Easy. Monthly reports. We can, update people with monthly reports. Of course, we can do that through our agent marketing system. Got a referral? You can tell them all about our referral contest, right? And I've got her phone number in there already and all that good stuff. And then need a referral to a pro? That's just going to talk all about our professional network that we train on and we talk about so much. And then boom, the last slide is just contact me. You could have, some more information or anything like that. And boom, you have your client welcome kit that you could either print and give to people, or you could email them, and it's a resource for them. So while I have you guys, just wanted to make sure that you guys know that that is available. All you have to do is just text me. Just email me or text me and just say, hey, I'd like, the template, and I'll email that over to you. So good stuff, guys. Really, really fun to do all of these things while we're cooped up and get it all done. And then when we're allowed to run back out there, then we can, get back out and we're ready to go. Susan is asking, can I use the pages by themselves? Of course, absolutely. Some of the pages you're just going to want to, have a PDF or a page that's just that home buying tips or whatever. Absolutely. Great call, Susan. So anyway, guys, that's all we have for today. If you need individual help, just let me know. You can book an appointment with me at calendly.com/Alta Realty Group. Anything else from you, Bill?
No, that's about it. That was a good webinar. We covered a lot of territory, and I just hope everyone can stay safe out there and do your most efficient work now that we're home and we've got the time.
Exactly. Yeah. So stay safe, social distancing, wash your hands, all that good stuff. Let's all team up and beat this thing, and we'll get back out there and sell a lot of real estate the rest of the year.
Sounds good, Kev.
All right, guys, get out there, have a great day, and we'll see you next week on the webinar. Bye-bye.